I went down some. I'm doing research on how to do this because it's getting hard out here, man. The struggle is real. I'm at foot porn, and anyway. This week on Trees in Space, Jason and I watched the 2023 rated R comedy, The People We Hate at the Wedding, and I have to say, way better than I expected.
It actually was better than I thought it was going to be. And Kristen Bell, she plays the obnoxious, irritating character better than anyone I've ever seen. She does in most of her films, it seems like.
Yeah, even the Good Place.
Yes,
she was that character.
Yes, she was.
And it was very hard to not see her as that character in this movie.
And I'm wondering if because she did that so good in that show, that's why they asked to cast her, or maybe she tried out for it. I have no idea how it works when you're that popular. For this part, because she was obnoxious and such a little, well, always me, and
Well, let's get into the movie info. It's a dysfunctional family that can't seem to get along and get it together, reluctantly reunites for a family wedding. As there are many skeletons that wrenched from the closet, it turns out to just be a singular family need.
What this singular family needs.
I don't know how this really describes the movie.
It doesn't, because
I mean, it does. It is a dysfunctional family. So
it tells nothing about the movie. It's what movie nowadays isn't a dysfunctional family? It's basically a step by step ABC dysfunctional stuff.
So you have a desperate person that has daddy issues that's seeking affection in men. Mm-hmm. That is a sarcastic, lovely human being. Then you have the gay guy, the gay brother, who is fantastic. And
what other movie has he been in recently? I don't remember, but go ahead.
I don't know, but I didn't want that three-way to end. I was so curious on how far they were willing to take that.
They were going to take it all the way. And that gentleman that was his boyfriend, Benjamin, I think was his name was, he's the cab driver in the Deadpool movies.
Yes, he is. And he's also in the Miracle Workers Networks, the episodes or docuseries things.
Oh,
it's on TNT. It's got
Harry Potter.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, they have that, and then they have the other daughter who is the stepsister.
Yes.
Half sister. Same mom, different dads. And she's in England, and she has all the money because her dad has tons of money. And the other ones in the States,
their dad
jealous.
did it.
Yes. And they manufactured some tension, which you have to in a drama comedy like this.
Well, there's definitely a lot of inserted resentment towards the sister who had a father, where the other two lost their father and then had a stepfather who took the role and was a great man, but like their father was never ever mentioned.
Well, I mean, okay, my understanding, because they had a lot of exposition the first 5 minutes of this movie, and I don't think they needed to do it there because they could have easily had the conversations as they went through the movie explaining that part. You didn't need that first 5 minutes where they're taking pictures and then the Christmas and Halloween and all that kind of stuff.
No. They didn't need to develop that backstory whatsoever. I think it could have very easily been established.
But the gentleman in those photos at the beginning, I'm pretty sure was the parent of the two white children.
Oh, I thought that was the step parent.
No, I'm pretty sure he was the step parent of the half black child, obviously, because the rich one. And then he dies at some point in time. I have no idea when. But it had to have been sometime after the gay son comes out of the closet and says to everybody he's gay.
And I'm going to say it. Yes, I'm gay.
Because that was part of the issue there, because for some reason the son idolized the father and hated the mother. And then the older sister said, no, dad was very disappointed that you were gay. And mom said, you're going to love him and stay, or I'm out the door, no matter what.
Well, this is the half sister that says it.
Yes, the half sister.
Right.
And I'm like, how does the half sister know this? Did mom confide in the half sister? I mean, it's just so.
Well, the half sister is the oldest.
She is.
I mean, she's got, let's say, 2 years of age on them. That's enough to remember things a little bit more clearly than a 5-year-old, let's say.
But she was only there half the year because of that year she was in. And I'll tell you right now, I'm going to finish that sentence. She lived half the year in America and half the year in England because her dad was in England, right? So, but I will tell you right now that if I had a half brother, half sister that had that kind of money and was putting me up at those places, I'd be very nice to them a lot.
All the time.
All the time. You want to put me up in this place? You want to fly me out in first class? And yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
But I could also understand the fact of you half the year live in luxury while my whole life is pale comparisons.
Yeah, that's a very good point because Becca had my ex-wife. She has a half sister, half sister named person, and I can't remember her name for that sweet woman. They have the same father. What?
Name is irrelevant.
Yeah, same father, different mothers. Becca, because her mother was here and we're struggling. Her dad had a multi-million-dollar company up until maybe 5 years ago. So that's the exact same life that Becca was living. But Becca had nothing to do with her dad until she was like 16. So she didn't see that until she was 16. Right. And then maybe 14. So that's the kind of life, but she didn't hold that against her sister that I could tell. She loves her sister, but some people are just pissed off for no good reason, I would think.
Yeah. Usually I feel like we can kind of go on. Well, I want to say that this movie was directed by Claire Scatlin and written by Lizzie Molinix-Loughlin and Wendy Melanix. I feel like it was.
That's French. It's Melano.
Oh.
It's okay.
Hard X is kind of metal. This movie, it wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible. It was a movie that you can just kind of chill out to. Like, you really can kind of half pay attention to it, but feel like you're having a romantic evening kind of thing. Like,
yeah, it felt
kind of me and the fiance watched it together.
Right. It felt like kind of all over the place. It's like it didn't have.
It just didn't have a constant storyline.
No, you're right. It had no direction. I mean, it had the different people, and that's probably more like real life is. There's no storyline in everyone's life. We all have different things going on at different times with different people.
Right.
But I just let's see, the brother who breaks up with we're ruining the movies for people. Breaks up with the boyfriend. Boyfriend breaks up with him because he wants to be with the older gay guy, and that went awkwardly weird.
Oh, that was fun. And the fact that the older gentleman didn't want anything to do with the boyfriend. He wanted to be with the son. And he was just like, oh my.
Yeah.
He was just so flattered. And
right.
I think he should have went with him.
Yeah. He has a lot of money. Hey, sometimes you got to do stuff for money. And it's just, I think there was a lot of blowing up or a lot of that deep down conversation that you're trying to get the drama out of it and get people to cry. That wasn't earned. I don't think any of those deep conversations that came out like, oh my God, that revelation, none of it was earned. It was there, but nothing was built up enough to make that a big, wow, that touched me. Nothing touched me.
Yeah, I think, I didn't think of it until you just mentioned it, but the conversations between mother, daughter, and daughter, son, and all that just seemed so half-assedly. Like, yeah. I understand that their relationship is very estranged. Mm-hmm. And usually Allison Janney knocks out of the park as a mom of dysfunctional families.
True.
And she still did, but she just seemed like it was kind of like, I'm just going to go ahead and just take a crap real quick. And here you go. There's my performance.
Well, did you see and obviously you saw it, but when Kristen Bell's character was going to take her panties off, take a picture of her crotch or whatever, and then that woman comes in, that's the girl. She's also on the TV show.
Yeah, The Good Place. Yeah, Janet.
And it was great. I was like, wow. And then she goes, my underwear just fell off. And she goes, okay, we'll fix this. Like she believed that her underwear did.
Right. It happens. You just get it through one leg. You're in a rush.
Yes, it happens. I just thought that was funny. But that part, her in love or dating the married rich business guy, like you were talking about. And because she needed the approval of that an older man.
Right.
And then she meets the great guy on the plane. And that is where a woman wrote this movie. This is where a woman wrote this movie. Especially when he goes, okay. Yeah, you dumped
I just feel the need of a mansplain logo somewhere. I don't know why. Just
because this man's in the hotel with her when she dumps him again, and he goes, okay, he goes, so you dump me for your rabbit, that's your boyfriend, and then he bails on you, so you bring me back, and he names all this kind of stuff that all this how shitty she treated him, and he said, but still, I like you, and we should go out, whatever. I'm like, no. That woman wrote that part.
Actually, I will rebut your statement,
please,
real quick. When the ladies took Kristen Bell out and she put on that bathing suit, that bikini, yes. I'd go back. Absolutely, I'd come back. I'd come back again, and I would give her the ride to the airport, and I would say, "Call me," and then I would I wouldn't forget her. I wouldn't.
But this guy was trying to have a relationship, like a true one, not just a one night stand fling. Me when you can and you're in the town type thing.
I don't know what it is about the movie. Every character to me was very well played.
Yes.
Everybody was perfectly cast. I feel like the tone of the movie was perfect for the cast. It just lacked something. There was just some
there's no stakes. Like I said, it wasn't earned.
Well, I want to the Kristen Bell with the balls guy, right? There's several moments where she makes this face oh, I really like this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then right away peels off and goes the other thing. Nobody's that way.
Right. And another thing that was, what the hell, was when her boyfriend, which was actually the boyfriend's wife, was texting her and shows up at the thing, whatever. Okay, why was that? I mean, I get that she's pissed off at the girl and she's going to go beat her ass, but she is ruining someone's wedding rehearsal thing for that thing in a fight. I'm like, God dang it. There's weird parts in a movie that don't need to be there, and that's one of them. It could have done anywhere else. She could have met her in the hotel. They still could have went to jail, and that's when the whole thing. We're the people that nobody wants at a wedding.
But I appreciated it. I didn't see it.
Or I didn't either.
I didn't see that coming, and as soon as I was oh no, she is going to ruin this wedding. Mm-hmm. As soon as that, I was and I admire I wish I remember, is it Abby? I think it's Cassie.
Sure.
The huge character evolutionary arc at that point where she was hey, can we just go anywhere else and we can fight this out, we can do whatever. She tried really hard to push this whole thing out, and that wife was just nah, bitch, we're doing it now.
Yeah, and that was get some character arc, and that's another reason I could tell a woman wrote this movie was when the mother was confronting the ex-father after she was told that he was banging another 22-year-old kid, and she goes, And I'm sorry that you've never been loved like you were loved by me, and that's a hole in your heart, and you never feel that again, and that's why you chase these younger women because they don't have it, and blah 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 blah. And then later on, he's like, you're right. Like, no, 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 no. Men don't say this. This is not. This is a fantasy women have, but God bless you, women, for having it.
I wish I could let you just live in your fantasy world. I really do.
But you're right, sir, about the that wedding scene. I didn't think it was appropriate there, but I guess that was the point. It's supposed to be shock.
Let's just go ahead and get into the audience and whatnot. Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie a massive score of 31%, and the audience went ahead and gave it a 40% on the tomato meter.
Do you think that's fair?
I don't. I feel like this was underrated.
I think this is right on, if not gracious. I did not. I mean, you're right. The acting was sublime. They all did great jobs. I mean, they were very believable characters. But, like I said before, all the tension that was being built up, and then the big conversation, like the bride telling everybody on the street, now you're going to, whatever this was, you're going to stop it now, da-da-da-da-da. That kind of came out, it didn't come out of left field, but it didn't build up enough for her to blow up yet.
Right, and I also don't think anybody would have responded that way. I would have been like, who's this bitch? Like, look, you put me up in this baller ass room and shit. Like, I'm just here because I feel obligated to be here.
Right. The only one that actually felt like honest about blowing up and saying something was the mother to the French father about what he did at the end. That one felt like that was earned. The rest of it,
and so again, Allison Janney, amazing actress.
Absolutely, she is.
So we gave our opinions about this movie for the most part. So let's go ahead and get into what the audience ranks this movie. Here is some 5-star reviews. This is from LEA. Sure, it isn't perfect, but it's a heartwarming, fun, and much more touching than I thought it would be. Belle and Platt's relationship and scenes are awesome. Dustin Milligan is ever so charming, and it's a shame we don't see more of Allison Janney. It's a nice movie that you end with a happy heart.
She does have a good point, and that's another thing about the movie. At the end, 18 months later, whatever, the mother or the bride who can't have babies I guess they adopted the baby, but they're all happy together in the field. Like, it all worked out for everyone. It's like, just because you have a come to Jesus moment meeting with your brother and your sister, doesn't mean things work out from that point on. Things pretty much stay crappy, continuous. It's better with them, but life's still shit. Okay.
Not in Hollywood.
That's true. Hollywood has a tendency to make, us believe stuff.
They only have an hour and 90 minutes to get through an entire series of emotions.
That is a good point. Moses says, those who greenlit the project needed to be drug tested. I wonder if the players were blackmailed into acting into this. It was good writing. It was fine writing. It just, that's rude.
I think the direction probably could have been better. I'm going to probably put this on the director. The last 5-star review, actually, I guess this is like a 4.5-star review. It was very difficult to find 5-star reviews for this movie. So, okay, I get why critics don't like this movie, but hear me out. If you love dysfunctional family comic wedding ensemble movies, as I do, you are going to like this movie a lot. Kristen Bell and Allison Janney are absolutely hilarious. Cynthia Adia Robinson is lovely, and it's possible Karen Stoney stole the show. Karan Sony.
I don't know who Karan Sony is. Is that going to be
the gay partner? The partner.
Oh. Because Cynthia would be the other daughter. So Karan Sony, editor man, you put a picture of that person up here. Karen Sony. Okay. The last 3-star review, 1-star review. We get 3 stars. We don't do 3-star review here. What show are we doing? Who made tea? This drivel was not funny. This drivel and not funny attempt to make a movie based on the complacent. Complacent. I know complacent. You know what?
The best part is this is going to be on screen now.
Yes, it is. But I'm going to redo it. I'm going to cut this part out. This drivel and not funny attempt to make a movie based on the complacent, spoiled, and boring lives of first worlders' narcissism. First worlder narcissism. We had that conversation about a different movie about first world problems. Family Switch. So
absolutely, yes. Yeah. Family Switch had a lot of first world problems.
Yeah, they had that. Well, I mean, it is a first world. It's a very rich girl getting married. Of course, it's first world problems.
I'm really starting to question first world problems now because I know we live in a first world, but their problems to me seem like far superior world. Can we have categories of first world, like first world A, first world B? Because I'd feel like I'm at like a first
world, mid upper first world, mid first world, low first world.
Are we talking like gas levels, like premium, super, unleaded?
Are we talking about people that are we talking about people arguing between whether they're going to go to Sydney, Australia for vacation or the Amazon, or people arguing whether they're going to pay rent or food
groceries?
Yeah.
So yeah, the struggle is real, man. This is off topic slightly, and you can edit it out if you want. But I'm considering starting an OnlyFans, but with feet pics. Like bake a cake, record it rushing through the cake and all that stuff, bathing my feet, shaving my toes, lotioning my feet.
No, do you have to
see that? I'm doing research on how to do this because it's getting hard out here, man. The struggle is real. I'm at foot porn. And anyway, the WTF review. The WTF review. This one comes from Wesley H. It's as if a movie producer and a movie writer got together in between metric tons of cocaine and decided to make a movie that wasn't funny, throwing a slapstick scene and raunchy vocabulary, and then complaining that the movie didn't make a profit. I feel like that sums up the movie.
It does. I don't remember the vocabulary being that. Did they say anything really bad?
So let's get into what our review of this movie is. I felt like this movie was nice. It was stupid. It had no plot. It had no real direction. They had a starting point. It was like The Amazing Race. They knew they were starting from one place and they had to get to France or wherever the frick they went to. And it had interweaving storylines that somehow all connected to this one family, based off of movies of similar. I feel like this is actually probably one of my more favorite stupid movies of this category. So with that in mind, 3 trees and a stump.
You've lost your stump mine, but yeah, that's your prerogative. So I'll put this in the same area as Wedding Crashers. So I'm giving this thing. There's Kristen Bell saves a lot of it. It has some good, interesting parts. It was just, I thought, very methodical and slow in spots. I think they had too many storylines to get them all settled in an hour and 30 minutes. So I'm going to give it 1 tree, 1 stump.
Ooh, you're so harsh on this movie.
I was not a fan.
Clearly. Thank you for tuning in, and tune in next time. Same channel, where we will bring you a new movie that we reviewed. Until then, I've been Nate. That's been Jason. Take care, everybody.